Welcome to a brand new episode of TVGP's Critical Misses. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpair.
Hello.
We're here for our second episode of the season. We're going to be watching 2002's My Big Fat Greek Wedding, a movie I have seen I don't know how many times, and I think you have not yet seen it, correct?
That is correct. I have not seen this movie. Did did this movie hit as big here as it did in England?
Yeah,
Because
it was fairly big for a while. Um,
okay, because it
yeah.
was a massive breakthrough.
hmm Yeah, I
Like
feel
in
like
England, this made so much money.
yeah, I feel like there was the kind of late 90s, early 2000s, I think didn't have, unless I'm really missing something. And, you know, obviously, due to the nature of the show, we are not experts in film. But I feel like there was a while there where there wasn't a movie as big as this one for a couple of years. And I feel like that's kind of why this one seemingly came out of nowhere about like, okay, it's been a while since we've had a movie that's this kind of like,
I mean, was it the death of the rom-com? Because like rom-coms went away for a long time in the whole counterculture nature of like the late 90s, early 2000s. It was very
yeah.
counterculture became the mainstream, and like it feels like rom-coms kind of suffered because of it. Like it felt like
hmm
it was this, and then the next thing after this was probably Bridget Jones's Diary, which I also
Yes.
haven't seen.
I have seen the first one of that. I'm not a fan. Well, we might eventually watch it, but I'm not a huge fan of the Jones stuff. Um, yeah, I feel like there was kind of a moment there of like um, eye rolling about romantic comedies about like, ugh, God, okay, I guess they fall in love at the end, huh? Oof, here we go. And I feel like the overwhelming charm of this movie, um, I think, kind of helped it a bunch. Try to like buck that feeling, maybe of like, yeah, it is a super cute movie, and it is kind of a your stereotypical rom com. But I think
Hmm.
one thing that separates this movie, I think, for me at least, from our previous movie we watched, is kind of the cultural shift here of it being such a like the identity of this movie is that it's Greek, and
Hmm.
that being kind of the beating heart of the movie, but also the male main character is sort of the audience surrogate for like, I don't understand what any of this stuff is. So people kind of
Yes,
get a chance to explain it to him because the female main character and her family are, mired in the
the
culture.
Greek ones by any chance?
Yes. So like they're really mired in
Okay.
it. But
This is cool though because like I think one of the reasons I love movies like this that kind of break the mold a little bit is because it shows the entirety of a different culture
right,
without treating it as foreign and wrong.
right,
Um, it's one of the both the positives and negatives about Bend It Like Beckham. It shows the Indian culture in England, but also the downsides of the Indian culture in England at the same
right.
time.
Yeah, and I think that's what part of what I like so much about this movie is the kind of like there's a little bit of like good natured ribbing about Greek culture, and you can tell that even from the outside looking in. Um, it never really feels mean or anything. It's just sort of like, ah, you know how we are, right? And I think that's kind of fun. Um, and I think
Hmm.
one of the parts that I like about it so much kind of going into it is it's just a very sweet movie. Like it's just a like not a lot of rom-coms are often mean. I think leaving some of the
Yes.
80s and 90s stuff behind, I think some of that stuff can unfortunately get kind of racist and mean in ways that's sort of like, oh yeah, that was definitely of the era. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that there will be stuff in this movie that will be like, oof, okay, 20 years ago that was maybe normal, but maybe not anymore. Um, but I think that's part of why I really click with it.
Yeah.
What are your kind of osmosis things here from this movie? Since it was so big, have you managed to absorb anything culturally?
Honestly, the things I know we've already talked about, like how it was an introduction to the whole nature of Greek weddings,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that it was sweet and charming is probably the most incredible part of it, because it's like, yep, that's for once it's something that's not torturous and painful that makes a whole bunch of money, you know?
Right. I mean, and like, that's what I want a rom-com to be, is I want it to be sweet. I want it to be like, I don't want it to be overly saccharine. I don't want it to be like, ooh, that's kind of not how real life goes. But I do want there to be a little bit of, um, we've talked about it before, of like the writer writes their perfect world. I want it to be kind of a real life thing, but everything kind of works out okay in the end. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that's, for me, that's what makes a good a good rom com. Is sort of like, yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't work out like that in real life, but that sure was sweet. Um,
Yeah.
and if we can get a rom com without there being that like third act fight because the two people in the relationship aren't communicating, then that's even better. Because that's like one
Hmm.
of my least favorite film tropes. It's like, no, if both of you just shut up for 2 seconds and talk to each other, the
Yep.
movie be over. But
Go go check out Wayward Sons for more of that content.
that's right. That's right.
Where every week it feels me and Nimpa complaining about how they just don't talk to each other.
Yeah, just shaking two brothers and saying, just talk to each other. Oh my god. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. All right. Any final thoughts here going into the film?
No, I'm looking forward to it. This is one of those movies that, like, the very definition of this show
Right.
is about.
Exactly. All right. Let's go watch the film.
Yep.
Hello, we're back. We've watched
Are we?
the film. Back and better than ever,
Yes.
baby.
Yes. Okay, we'll go with that lie,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully nobody calls us on
Yeah,
it.
fake it till you make it, right? That's how it goes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
We have watched the film. Um, I I wanted to mention something here at the beginning that I forgot. It was a 2002 movie until
Uh-huh.
the first time you see Ian and his like school teacher friend at
Uh-huh.
the restaurant, and he pulls out a Polaroid. I was like, oh, yeah, pre
Hey,
iPhone,
hey,
right.
don't don't forget, dude, computers are new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those new things, computers, taking a computer
Uh-huh.
class, which still
Uh-huh.
exists, but like I feel like not to the level of like they did in the
No,
early
nowhere near the
2000s.
degree. Now it's you're 40 and above and don't know how to use a computer. Let me show you the basics.
Yeah, exactly.
In those days, it was, this is new tech. Let me show you the basics.
Yes, here is a mouse. Here is a keyboard. Yeah, like so much
Mm-hmm.
of it is it's kind of refreshing. That do you have a cat coming to assault you?
Yes,
Yeah,
has been ignoring me all day. The
of
second I
course.
sit down and start talking into a microphone,
You're talking to
no,
me
I must
naturally.
I must be there.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Um yeah, we watched this film written and starred by Nia Vardalos about her life. This is an
Yes,
autobiographical movie, as much as any of these movies that aren't documentaries can be. Um,
yes. which is worth pointing out because I'm going to say some things which, oh boy,
Oh, okay.
I have some takes on this
Okay.
movie. We'll put it that way. We'll get there when we get there.
Sure. Um, I I have I like this movie a lot. I have a soft spot for this movie. It surely isn't perfect.
Mhm.
I think
This is what you've seen before, correct?
correct. Yeah, I have seen
Okay.
this one. I have seen the second one, which is also written by her. I have not seen the apparently disastrous third one, which was written and directed by her. Apparently, it is all the way bad. Like I don't know what
Okay.
is bad about it, but apparently it just misses the mark in nearly every way
Bridget
possible.
Jones 3 level of bad, he says, not having
Apparently,
seen those movies.
I have seen all three of those. I don't remember because I don't like those movies. Those aren't for me. Um,
Uh-huh.
but I will admit I think this movie does stumble quite a bit. But I think
Yeah.
the bookends of it I think are really solid. Like the beginning of like, here's how hard it was for me, a Greek girl, to grow up in this too tight knit Greek community. Um,
Yes.
and
Too tight knit is definitely the optimal word to use there.
yeah, and I think this movie does such a good job of explaining how her life. I don't know if I'd use the word difficult. Maybe weird, eccentric.
Differentiates from the American norm.
Yeah, the like Muskaka scene is like a very memorable one. Of the
Kids are mean. Spoiler alert.
yeah, like, but like I feel like the movie doesn't go out of its way to say like here's what it was like being Greek, but it goes far enough that if you didn't grow up in this sort of environment, I think the movie does
hmm
go a really. It goes just far enough to be like, okay, here's why it was weird growing up the way that I grew up, and here's how it kind of colored my experiences and colored the rest of my life. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that the beginning of the movie does go a long way to do that and spends a lot of time doing that. But I think it pays off as the the movie in like the second act hits the like pushes the pedal to the metal and is like, all right, man, we're moving. So like the groundwork I think was is laid pretty well. Um, and I think the thing that as we've watched more rom-coms on this show, I think there's some stuff in here that is refreshing. I don't think it's a perfect movie. It doesn't have to be. Um, but I think one of the things that I like is that uh, Tula doesn't change herself for Ian. Like she doesn't
hmm
go to computer school and give herself a makeover and go get a job at the travel agent. Like she doesn't do that to impress Ian. She does it because she's finally had enough of being trapped in this life. And I like that there's that kind of flip on it of like, I have to win this man. It's like, no, man, she's doing it for herself. Like this is the life she's wanted. She's gonna go get it. Um, thankfully, after her mom tricks her dad into thinking that it's his idea, which is a really great scene.
Yeah.
That's a
This
great
movie's
scene.
full of generational trauma, we'll say.
Yeah, but I do like that her mom, Maria, if I remember correctly, is basically like, look, man, it's the whole like head and neck scene of like, hey, man, I've been married to Gus for a really long time. I know how to play this
Uh-huh.
game. I'll get you what you need.
The man may be the head of the house, but the woman is the neck and can point the head wherever she wants.
Yep, really good. Yeah.
Uh-huh. A little bit
Um,
of toxic masculinity and feminism in here, we'll say.
we'll put them all together. Yeah. Um,
Uh-huh.
did
The
you?
trauma part of the generational thing is 100% real in this.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice who the celebrity in this movie is?
the celebrity in this movie.
Uh-huh.
I know the mom reminds me of John Travolta in Hairspray.
I mean, it's not unfair, yeah.
I
Joey
did look quite literally the
yeah,
same hair and everything.
Joey Fatone, one of Tula's cousins from NSYNC.
Okay, did
Yeah.
not know that.
I was curious to see if you knew that, not having been in the States when the States boy bands were huge, but I feel like so many
Yes,
people have like a That's Chappie moment of like, that's Joey Fatone. He's in this. Is he
yeah,
Greek?
the the DiCaprio meme,
Yes,
the
exactly.
snapping the fingers, pointing
Yeah,
at
the
the
pointing at the
thing.
screen. Yeah.
Um, I only know one member of NSYNC, and it's
Okay.
the member you'd expect me to know,
Okay. Yeah. 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 The
who I'm
ramen
sure we'll
hairs
have a
gentleman.
season dedicated. Yeah, I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
have a season dedicated to horrible acting
Oh
at
my
some
gosh.
point,
Yeah.
and we can go through all of his performances
Don't worry. Whenever we get around to watching The Social Network,
in time.
in
No.
time. Oh my god. No, I was thinking about his questionable role in The Social Network. Of sort of like, ooh, you had to get him in this, huh? Yikes. Boy.
But don't worry, we can always watch Trolls.
That's I have watched those movies so many times.
I haven't seen them at all,
can
mate.
quote
So,
can quote I think the first three by heart if pressed.
oh my word,
Not the
dude.
fourth one. Yeah.
And I wish I knew. I wish I knew what the movie was. But there's a movie where he kidnaps a kid, which is based on a true story, and it's just horrifically depressing.
Oh boy.
Um,
Couldn't get Jared Leto for that
yeah,
one, huh?
he might be in that movie. He might be in
Allegedly,
that movie,
allegedly,
dude. I don't know.
allegedly. uh,
Yeah, cover your bases with the
that's
legends.
right.
Alpha Dog. That's the one I'm talking about.
Alpha
Alpha Dog.
Dog. All right, forgot about Alpha. How could we forget about Alpha Dog? Sequel to Ghost
Uh
Dog.
huh.
It's not. Um.
Dude, just dude.
Anyways, this movie. Um.
Uh huh.
I One of the things that I feel like I didn't remember about this movie that is probably my one of my big dislikes about it. Like, I like the two main actors. I think, um,
I think they have genuine chemistry together. I
and
actually quite like that.
I think Nia as Tula is genuinely very funny. Like, her comedic timing is on point this whole movie. Um,
Hmm.
and I think where the movie kind of struggles a little bit for me, and without making this movie is like a solid 95 minutes. It is the most typical rom-com you could do. Is I think the second act is where it struggles a little bit, but I struggle to come up with a better solution of it. Is like, once the two of them start dating, the movie is just going at like 200 miles an hour of like, they're dating in secret, now in public, he loves her, now they're
Uh
engaged,
huh.
now he's getting baptized, now it's just like bam 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 bam. But like, it's tough because you have the first act of like, here's what it was like growing up in this situation, and then the end of it is the big fat Greek wedding, which is like the eventual aim of the movie. So like, that middle part has to sort of be like, you can't follow them on 20 dates. We don't have time
Uh huh.
for that. But it feels a little bit like, oh, they're dating, of course he's getting baptized in the Greek Orthodox Church. It's like, wait, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, like, sure.
in a kiddie pool.
In a kiddie pool. It's like, sure, of course he will, because he wants to marry her. But like, it all feels pretty quick. But again, something that would be kind of hard to get around, I think.
Yes. I will say, like, it's pretty difficult for a movie to get me to actually laugh out loud.
Mhm.
This movie did it twice. Once with the kiddie pool scene, where it just pans out and he's literally standing in a kiddie pool, and it's just
Yep.
like, okay,
It's like, I guess you'll have
okay.
to do it however you can, sure.
Yeah, improvisation is the king of all talents, I suppose.
Hmm.
And the other one was the "let me get you some brochures," and then strangle yourself with the phone cord fall over moment.
Yep. Also, really like the moment where Tula's cousin like opens her trench coat to show the bridesmaids dresses, and everyone is so excited, and Tula goes, "Oh!" Like that's
Uh-huh.
a really great comedic
Yeah,
moment.
there is a giant interfering family
Mm,
involved in your wedding, and it's
yep.
like all of these nightmare scenarios that you hear about with like I don't know about your family, but like having a family that would interfere that much
Yeah.
in your wedding plans, like you the am I the a-hole posts for like kicking my mother-in-law out of the wedding because she just wouldn't stop interfering with
Exactly.
everything.
My mother-in-law bought the invitations to my wedding 2 weeks ago, and they're already here. Like,
Uh-huh.
hmm
And they are literally a giant Greek flag,
yep.
ignoring
So,
the my
so good.
partner's origin story in this,
And then getting his parents' names wrong. Like, it's
which is a good callback at the end when they do the dancing, and he's like, "Come on, Harry,"
yep.
and picks her up to start dancing.
It's
That's a nice
really
little
good.
callback right there.
I do like how Ronnie and Harriet, if I remember correctly, are Ian's parents' names. Um,
Ronald and Harriet,
yeah,
yes.
how they genuinely do loosen up throughout the entirety of the movie. Um, I I think you could keep them pretty stuck in the mud, but even Ronald makes that joke of like it's all Greek to me during the beginning of the
Uh-huh.
wedding. It's like, all right, you get the everyone gets one, and that was your that was
Uh-huh.
your one Greek joke. Um, what? Let's go into some of your hot takes here for this movie.
So it's we're recording this in 2025.
Correct.
I am much more sensitive these days, especially spoiler alert, being British
Hmm.
about the difference between being proud of where you're from
Sure.
and nationalism.
Right. There definitely is a fine line between those two.
Yes, I
Hmm.
think this movie does a pretty solid job of treading the line,
Yes.
but it's something I have seen. I worked quite closely for a long time with someone of Turkish descent,
Right.
and there it was very much a case of all of the Turkish people in the city used our business because he was Turkish.
Oh, okay.
So we got a lot of Turkish customers because they were supporting people who were from Turkey.
Hmm.
But it also at the same time, it's like I get that, I appreciate it, and I can respect it, but also at the same time, maybe just a little bit on the questionable side there.
Mm.
Like, yes, you have a very rich history and culture. I understand that, and I genuinely adore that. But sometimes you can take it a little bit too far.
Gotcha. Sure.
Uh, like, I think the dad's opinions of you only marry Greek is a very problematic stance, for example,
Absolutely.
which the movie does point out to say, "Yo, this is kind of stupid of you to have
Right.
this stance."
Well, like part of the
And
opening of the movie is he's been telling me I look old since I was 13 years old. And it's just like, oh boy.
hmm
Like clearly an like older school, old world kind of problematic viewpoint of pretty much
yes,
everything.
hmm
Yeah.
and like that was fine. Like that was my main takeaway from it was like, please be very careful when you're stepping around proud of culture and nationalism.
Right.
Like, spoiler alert, there's no such thing as white culture. It's not white, it's the countries where you're from. Like,
Right.
that's the culture. So, like, I'm British. Our culture is let's invade everybody and steal all of their stuff.
Right.
Um, that's where my culture comes from. And yes, you could argue that part of being British is we have the Roman culture, we have the Italian culture, we have the Greek culture, all combined into ours kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
But the thing that the British are known for is just taking over people and owning everything because we are problematic as hell.
Hmm.
Um, and I struggle with being proud of being quote unquote British because of
Right.
that whole thing. A British takeaway is Indian food.
Right.
That's not British, that's Indian.
Well, don't worry, Moon. There's certainly nothing wrong with the United States in 2025. We are certainly
No,
blameless.
100% nothing wrong with that
No,
at all.
everything's great.
A country full of immigrants saying, get rid of the immigrants. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
it'll
absolutely,
turn out great. Yep.
yep, everything's going to be absolutely fine. Historians are
Oh
going to dig
God.
this from the waste that is the future and be like, I wonder what happened.
Yeah, greatest country in the world. It seems.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goat wink.
Yeah.
Like there's that and the the thing I do like about it is when she does the get cute montage. It's
Mm-hmm.
only like 2 seconds, and she really doesn't change much, like at
No.
all. She wears contacts instead of glasses. Like that's pretty
And
much it.
and maybe some more like modern clothing, but it doesn't feel like it's a complete like makeover you'd see in like a teen rom-com in the 90s or anything. It's not like she whips off the glasses and then takes down her hair and the most beautiful woman in the world. It's like sure she's attractive, but like she always has been. It's just she did something a little bit different. Um
Oh
I
yeah, it's not she's all that.
Yeah, exactly. I think on that note too, one thing that I find really refreshing about this movie is um, there's no scene in this movie where Tula and Ian have this big knockdown drag out fight where they break up or
Yes.
they're ever in question or anything. It's like no man, they just love each other. Like almost also there's no time in the movie for that to happen, but
True.
it's refreshing that it's not like they are committed to each other and they do love each other and there's really no question. And you could see this movie maybe in a different writer's hands of him just being like, I don't know if I can really do this, your family's just too much for me. And he's like, yeah man, this is some wild stuff, sheesh, but I really do love you and I'm
Yeah,
committed.
like he seems to take it all in his stride.
Exactly.
And again, that's the slight flip on the traditional rom-com roles where he's like, okay, I'm not religious, you are, let's do it in your way.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
he's not the boyfriend is not toxic masculinity. The dad is, but the boyfriend sure isn't.
Exactly. Yeah. It's refreshing even from something from 2002. It's kind of like, yeah, this is you kind of you took a pretty different approach to some of this. Um
Hmm.
and I like that a whole lot. Do you have any more hot takes before we keep scooting?
Let's see here.
Let's check my hot take
Generational
sheet.
trauma. Do. The only other thing I had minor concerns about was the potential stereotyping
Mhm.
query, but I can't really say it's potential stereotyping if it's written by a Greek woman about her Greek family. Like,
Right. And she's the main
it's not
actor.
from
Yeah.
yeah, it's not for me to judge that kind of situation.
Yeah, it's interesting because I before we did this episode, I didn't really know the history of this movie. It started out as her doing a 45-minute one woman stage show about her telling her story of her life, and then
Hmm.
as it kept kind of growing and getting more popular, more uh, studios were sort of like, okay, this seems like something maybe we can turn into a movie, and HBO uh, eventually was starting to sort of court her, and nothing was really landing because they're like, oh, we'll turn it into like a Filipino family, and we'll change a different actor, and we'll put Marissa Tomei in it, and we'll do all this, and she's just like, no,
Hmm.
man, like you're missing the point. And Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson, who I always forget that they're married, they sort of discovered it. It sounds like the two of them were basically like, no, we just want to make this. Like you clearly have a story in mind, and like you clearly have this kind of nailed down. Let's just make that and turn it into a 95-minute
Hmm.
movie. And it was like the biggest thing. A $5 million budget movie that made $368 million. Like
Yeah, with the same release year as Titanic, I believe.
exactly, yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that.
yeah.
I believe it in the notes for it. It actually even says that it was what it was. It ran longer than Titanic did. Even after it came out on video, it was still in theaters because people were still
Oh
going.
wow, that's wild.
And it's like, okay, my props.
Hmm.
Like, good on you.
I do like the kind of back third of this movie quite a bit. Um, I I think it has a good depiction of how bananas a big wedding can really get.
Especially with a big traditional family.
Yeah, and one that's like so involved in your day to day, nevertheless, like what they consider to be one of the biggest events of your life. Um,
Hmm.
I like I think the whole wedding is fine. I think the build up to the wedding itself, with everybody kind of running back and forth across the house, is really fun. I think the
I I can't give the brother enough credit for being comedic gold in this as well, by
yes,
the way.
hmm
Like her brother character who's just like, yeah, say this. And then he says it and then gets smacked in the back of the head. The brother gets smacked
uh-huh,
in the back of the head by the dad because he knows what's going on.
yep,
And then he does it again
yep.
and he gets away with it the second time. It's like, you are in so much trouble. And he just like runs away kind of thing.
And I really
It's
like
like,
that because I like that everybody knows that Nico is the one that was the troublemaker. It's not Ian. Like nobody's mad at Ian. They're like,
uh-huh.
"Oh, Ian, buddy, like you got to figure this out, man." Also, Nico, you're in a
Yeah.
lot of trouble. like,
Hmm.
um, I like too that you get
And
the
a fresh baklavas, and he takes the photo of everybody getting dressed the
yeah.
morning of the wedding too. Is just, oh, you're in trouble.
I do like that you get when they're getting out of the limo to go to the reception. I do really like you get the kind of closing the loop moment of Ian saying like he had a zit earlier in the day and he put Windex on it and now it's gone. Like
Yep.
that's a
Hmm.
really
Especially after the second shot of the dad at the dinner table with his elbow in a bowl of Windex.
yeah, that's so good. And like I think Gus's whole speech, his like very awkward speech during the reception about apples and oranges, I thought was genuinely really sweet. And then kind of buffeted by the scene right after that where he buys them a house. And then, of course, the
Hmm.
eventual payoff at the very end of the movie of it being literally next door to Gus and Maria's house. It's like, okay,
Yeah, that
great.
was such a nice reveal in like the post credits thing was just like, look, we have our own house. It's 6 years later.
Yep.
Hi, Dad. It's like, oh, of course, they bought them the house next door.
Yep, he's out, washing his already spotless car. Like
Hmm.
it's really great. Um, I I still like this movie a whole lot. I think there's something like very sweet about it. I think a lot of it for me, and I'm not sure I kind of thought about it all the way until I watched it this time. Of there's no real major
There's no
conflict.
conflict.
Yeah, like there's all these
Nope.
little conflicts of like, oh, she's tired of her family, but she'll sort that out. And like, oh, her family's too overbearing about the wedding, but like, it's fine. Like everybody kind of rolls with the punches of like, Ian and Tula are like, that okay, man, this is what we signed up for. Like we knew it was gonna be bananas in some way, and okay, here it is. We're still gonna get married. I'm just look gigantic and wearing a huge wedding dress. So like whatever,
Hmm.
man. Like this wedding is gonna be white and blue. Wouldn't you guess it? Um, and I think that's really like, sure, it's like impossibly positive, but I think that's kind of what at least I come to this genre for. Like I want the perfect love story. I want the perfect happy ending. I want a rom-com from the 2000s that wasn't making fun of gay people. Like it's these movies do exist. And like we said, this movie isn't perfect, but I think it's a lot better than a lot of the other contemporary movies during its time, and better than a lot of rom-coms from the 2020s. That's for sure. Um, it's really refreshing. It's just a really solid, cute, feel-good movie. I like it.
Yeah. Wholesome is the word I would use for this one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What were your kind of final thoughts here for this?
It was solid. Like it wasn't a big letdown. It wasn't a big disappointment. It did have its funny moments, like I said. Um, it felt social awkward empathy going on for
Yeah.
myself, where it's just like, yeah, dude, there's like more than four people here.
Right.
Like, no, I don't want to be anywhere near this.
Right. Right. Right.
Please.
Please get me out of this crowd.
Yes, 100%. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Let's talk about ratings here real quick. IMDb has this at a 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter, 76% with 130 reviews, 73% on the popcorn meter, and then over at Letterboxd, 3.4 out of 5. I'm probably in that like 3.5 region where it's like,
Yeah.
it's not the best movie. Like, I like it. Like I said, I have a soft spot for it. But I'm not sure I would sit there and say like, no, this is the best rom com of all time. This is the best movie of 2020, like 2002. No, it's just solid. It's just a good film.
Yeah. I mean, I can get with the 3.5.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we are already halfway through our rom com season. We're gonna get to some more recent movies here, and that are actually going to be the original idea that we had for this season. So keep an eye on those ones coming up next.
We'll see.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.